Hello and welcome to Crucible of Words for more dedicated legacy action. Today we've got a spicy one that I found in the 5.0 deck dump. It's got Slickshot Show-Off in it, so I'm definitely going to give it a whirl. I'm recording this before the bannings happen. The bannings probably happen as this video is going out, maybe. So I don't know if Entomb's banned. I don't think it will be. I'll be very surprised if it was. But there is a minor possibility this deck won't be legal, but I suspect everything in this deck will still be legal after the bannings. So that's why I thought I'd run it, as well as the fact that this deck looks incredibly cool and fun. So what are we doing here? Well, we're doing some pretty wild Slickshot Show-Off stuff. So what we want to do is get this into play a bunch of zeros to pump out big and smash our opponents. But we've also got the ability to do epic gamble type stuff, so we can put our Echo of Eons into the graveyard, draw a fresh new hand, using things like Lines of Diamond as well. And the Entomb just is an additional copy of Gamble. So we're just trying to keep drawing sevens. And we're either pinging our opponent down with Bowmasters, or we're making a giant Slickshot Show-Off. What a word. And then we have Burning Wish that can just go and grab Tendrils if we need to, or a Grapeshot, or an Empty the Warrens, or whatever we need at the time. We've got basically the core of a Epic Gamble deck. If you're interested in the Epic Gamble, by all means check out Tony Scapone's channel. It was the deck that he invented. It was great, and took the format by storm, pun intended. And this gets to run Vexing Bauble to protect stuff, so we can do this to get some stuff in, and then we can crack it once we want to start playing some more zeros. It feels kind of weird having the Vexing Bauble without the defense grid, where you'd normally use this to help you get the defense grid in, then you can crack the baubles. So we'll see how it plays. But yeah, we just got some mana of artifact and other varieties, draw sevens, and some cool creatures to try and win the game with. We are an Urza Saga deck, so we can try and get some Urza Saga action going. We've also got an almighty 4 Badlands and a couple of Blackcleave Cliffs. So we are really in amongst it with the old dual lands there. Sideboard-wise, it's a wish board, so it's going to be a little bit all over the place. So we've got Haywire Mite, which we're going to be boarding in, so we can find off Urza Saga. Same with Pyrite Spellbomb. We've got a Thoughtseize to check our opponent's hand, Shattering Spree to blow up artifacts. I've already mentioned the Storm spells to try and win the game with. This is a Storm spell for card advantage. We've got some removal spells here. We can board these in and try and blow up some like Thalias or Spheres or Chalice or whatever. We have Thud. So as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice creature. It deals damage equal to the sacrifice creature's power to any target. So this is going to be sacrificing a big Slickshot Show-Off. So we don't have to do it for a full 20. We can do it for 10 and then sack it. Feed the Swarm. This can blow up some problem enchantments like Leyline in the Void. Shenanigans for some more artifact destruction. Reforge the Soul in case we need another draw 7. Echo of Eons so we can get another draw 7. You get the gist, right? We're doing the thing. This is going to be an absolute wild ride. I'm not the best at playing these sorts of decks, but they are a whole lot of fun, and I'm going to do my best. This does look like a really fun one. When Orcish Bowmasters first got printed, I played a 5.0. I built a deck and 5.0 with it immediately. I think it was a perfect 5.0 10.0 as well, with like this and Echo of Eons, but also was running like Shoulder and a few other bits and pieces. This kind of feels like a spiritual successor to that, so I'm excited to give it a whirl. So like and subscribe, and let's get right into showing off with the Slickshot. Alright, we get to absolutely do the thing here, right? So we go Badlands, Spirit Guide, play the Show-Off, play the Lines of Diamond, draw 7, and keep going. This is what we came here to do. Now, it can be undone by a lot of things. That's Legacy for you. But I'm going to keep a hand that does the thing for sure. Let's see if our opponent plays a blue land. A white land. A Guide of Souls. Okay, they might still have blue mana in their deck. But most of these decks I've been seeing now are not playing blue. So I think we just go for it here. Let's play this. Let's cast this. Let's get a Lotus Petal on the go. Let's yield to this trigger. Let's get Lines of Diamond in. Do we need to cast an Entomb first, or would I like to have more mana for the next sort of wheel going along? We could always just gamble for a Lines of Diamond. If we hit it, that's a lot more mana. Okay, we discard it anyway. So let's discard our hand. Flashback this Echo of Eons. We've got a 9-power creature. Drawing a fresh one. So I'll have another Lines of Diamond. I'll have a Chrome Mox. This probably imprints the Cabal Therapy here. Cast an Entomb. We're doing it. We're doing it. Get another Echo of Eons. Crack this. Cast the Echo of Eons. Play Mox Opal. Oh, we're actually one shy here, right? We can't actually get the last one. But our opponent's had enough. Alright. A turn 1 Slickshot Show-Off. I think that's a screenshot right there. Cool. So our opponent's playing some white spells. I imagine this probably means we need to blow up the Deafening Silence if our opponent has it. We're also going to need these Abrades. So this is what I think we need. Sideboarding is going to be difficult. I don't think we need these Vexing Baubles. So we can board these in. This can hit a Thalia. And it could also hit some other little annoying creatures. I think it's better to have to feed the Swarm in the sideboard. So this is how we're going to run with it. Okay, this can do the thing, right? So we can plot this on turn 1 if we want to. And then we cast it turn 2 and do all the other bits and pieces. Because we can gamble, and the chances are we won't discard the Lion's Eye Diamond. It's possible, but we got to take that. It's not called gamble for no reason. Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, this means we get to do everything here, right? So play this out. I think we Rite of Flame here. Cast a Slickshot. Cast a gamble. This is kind of the big one. We need this to actually the right thing here. Or rather not hit the wrong thing. Look at that. We're doing it now. Okay, so we have a Lion's Eye Diamond. A Mox. We don't get to do anything with our current configuration. But we do get to bash our opponent for 11 here. Not bad. Not a bad turn 1. The next turn we can gamble and try and go again. We also have the Orcish Bowmaster, who should be pretty good in this matchup. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Swords to Plowshares on our creature here. We probably want to do it now rather than letting us make it big. We do have blue mana. Ocelot Pride. A single blue mana. That could counter a colourless spell maybe. Alright, they're doing something with their blue mana. This is going to be a Mockingbird. There it is. So they're going to copy the Ocelot and make a bunch more stuff. So that particular Ocelot has flying. But we can Orcish Bowmasters it down. So an Echo of Eons would be the best draw, but that just straight up wins us the game. We'll see. An Orcish Bowmasters. So if we gamble here, what does that actually do for us? Maybe we draw 7 and we get to win the game this turn. Or we can take it slightly slower, like ping this down, and then try and go next turn with an Orcish Bowmasters on the field. That is an option. Alright, and then we gamble. That is what you all came here to see, right? So we're going to get this Echo of Eons. Would I like... I think I would like a Badlands at this point. Let's flash back this Echo of Eons. Bit of an ugly looking hand, truth be told. So we can Entomb here, that doesn't do anything for us. We can Cabal Therapy here, that doesn't do the most for us. We're just a little bit shy, aren't we? Really struggling to get the old Metalcraft going. So if we go and just put another Echo in the bin. This has first strike. Is it worth killing this? I think it is. Yeah. Under the bus it goes. They gain 1 instead. Maybe the Orcish Bowmaster line was better then. But we had Bowmasters and Abrades. We could have had a lot of mana. I think the problem we had really was that we couldn't get Metalcraft. And that was a bit awkward for us. Well, they got red mana as well. Wonder what that's for. Maybe they're like Jeskai energy type stuff, and they've got like the Raptor and stuff. Yeah, our opponent's going to pop off in a big way this turn. Agate Instigator. Oh wow, that's really cool. So now all their little guys they get actually ping us. Yeah, that's cool. And if they offspring this with a Ocelot, they end up with loads of additional pings as well. That's really cool. Right, so now they get 2 cats here. They ping us for 2, they make 4 energy. Gain 4 life. So now our opponent is at a higher life total than their starting life total, despite us hitting them for most of their life total on turn 1. I don't think we're winning this one. Another Show-Off. How much damage is this? No, I don't think we're winning this one. Alright, I think we sideboarded correctly here. We just got to go back in and try again. We don't have any like Massacre out of the sideboard, which might be an interesting one. Since there's a lot of these Ocelot decks going around. But the idea is we're supposed to just go around them. Maybe I'll play our opponent's deck at some point. It looks really cool. Okay. We don't actually go anywhere with this. We can kind of play a Slickshot, but then what? I think we need to mulligan for something that's a little more explosive. So this makes some mana here. That's 2 mana. This is 3 mana. We don't get to Entomb and do it all. But we could Entomb and do it on the following turn. No, because this doesn't tap for mana. Alright, let's try again. Okay, this spins the wheel. And that's what we came here to do, wasn't it? Spin the wheel. So this opening hand, we're probably not keeping the Show-Off here, because we're just going to bin this hand off again anyway. Lines our diamond, Lotus Petal, Gamble. Let's all draw new hands. Opponent hasn't shown us counter magic yet, but if they have it now, I will scoop this up. Alright, they're just frame a card a couple of things away. That's not the end of the world. What does this do? We could spin again. We could go Chrome Mox, Imprint, Burning Wish, Rite of Flame. That's 2 mana. The next one gives us 4 mana. That doesn't really let us do what we need to do here, does it? Which probably means we're going to just spin the wheel with a gamble instead. Just make sure we got loads of mana. So the next time around, we can do more. Let's flash it back. I think we just use all of our blue mana here. Do I perhaps sound like a Mind Break trap? Right, there's fewer Lion's Eye Diamonds in our deck now. Understood. Okay, so we can Rite of Flame here. That's 4 mana. We can play a land. That's 5 mana. We can play this. And we can just Tendrils our opponent from the sideboard here. Alright, our opponent knows what we're doing. Yeah, it's explosive. That was pretty cool. Let's go to round 2. This goes... Alright, this draws us 7. I assume we have to just keep hands that allow us to do that. So we have to... We don't have to imprint, I suppose. So we imprint... We kind of want 2 black mana to do the best thing we can do, but we don't get to do that. Is there anything good from the sideboard that we can reach for right now? Not particularly. Okay. So the big choice is what we imprint to the Chrome Mox on this turn. Would I like the Urza Saga here, or would I like to draw a fresh grip with some different mana? Let's play our Lotus Petal. This can Entomb for us. Chrome Mox. What are we imprinting? It's not the Entomb. It's either the Burning Wish or the Bowmasters. If we imprint the Bowmasters, then this mana can tap for anything we want. I think that's probably the better option there. Do I want this Saga or not? That is kind of an important question. I think we do play it just in case something goes wrong with what we're doing now. I don't like these pauses our opponent is doing. So the other option we had there was to Burning Wish for the other Echo. So we had 2 Echoes in the bin. Okay. This one doesn't keep going, does it? Which is a little bit awkward. I think we build up for a bigger turn next turn. So we go Slickshot, and then we play the Petal and profit. Alternatively, we can just play the land and start grinding out Saga tokens and work our way towards a Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll see what our opponent's doing, and then we'll work out what we want to do. But we went through a load of stuff just to hit our opponent for 1 that turn. Now, we could have made it 3 if we played out the Petal, but that Petal could represent 4 damage next turn if we have 2 Slickshots. A Wasteland, so we're losing our Saga. Alright, so we're not doing Saga gaming. Understood, opponent. Chrome Mox. Play out my land. I'll play out my Slickshot Show-Off, which is sometimes a difficult name. Do we play this out just to get some damage in now? I would like to Cabal Therapy my opponent first here. Is that true? We Cabal Therapy, that's 4 damage. I'm sure our opponent's working with over there. What am I going to name? What decks play Wasteland and what could they have that's annoying? Could be a Source to Plowshares deck. Like Lands has that. Alright, let's go for Source to Plowshares. Alright, a bunch of stuff. Understood. Would I like to force through an additional damage right now? Or additional 4 damage? I think I would before any of our creatures get removed. We won't imprint here. So this is 14. That's not shabby. Next time we can play Orcish Bowmasters, flashback Cabal Therapy, and that's lethal. What do you got? You want to play a Tamiyo? Bloodstone Mire. They might play the Tamiyo because it's a 0-3 that can just block in the sky. That's probably better than just brainstorming here. Which means our Bowmasters will get a lot of work done. I don't envy our opponent's spot, that's for sure. There's the Tamiyo like I suspected. Our opponent has 1 mystery card. That's Bowmasters. I will pay around a daze. If they have a force here, then this will give us lethal. A daze. This comes in. Hopefully. They have a force of will. Right, that's fine. We already discussed that we can just play this card in hand. and pump our guys. They're both lethal threats now. Alright, we got a game on turn 3. Alright, our opponent's doing some counter-spelling nonsense. What are we supposed to do in order to beat that? So let's put the things that we would actually sideboard here, and the rest is basically just the wish board. Yeah, it's going to be a little tough, I suspect. But we got the baubles. We're kind of pre-boarded for this, so let's just go in. Okay, so we go Blackcleave Cliffs. Play some things out. Vexing Bauble. Yeah, this hand looks like my jam. Would you like to counterspell my Lion's Eye Diamond? Would you like to counterspell this Lion's Eye Diamond? Would you like to counterspell this Mox Opal? Would you like to counterspell this Vexing Bauble? It does feel weird having Vexing Bauble in a deck where we've got so many zeros. If this works, we have a choice what we do with our Entomb here. Sorry, not with our Entomb, with our second Lion's Eye Diamond. So we get our Entomb going. We want blue and red here. I don't think we need another blue mana. You can always use a red to pop the bauble if you want to put some more stuff into play. This hand literally went nowhere. We could crack the bauble and try and see something else. Actually, no, I suppose we can... If we crack the bauble, we can keep going here. We play this Lotus Petal out. We play this Chrome Mox. We imprint an Entomb. We play out another Mox. This one. The black. Cast an Entomb. Flash it back. Slower again. Force of Willed. Oh no, it's a Brainstorm. The Echo resolved. So now what? We can keep going. We could gamble and try and Echo again. Or we could just play a Slickshot. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond out first here. If we gamble... We didn't really need to gamble there, did we? Okay, we'll play this. Just keep generating some more manas. It's now the time we get done. Nope, we're drawing 7 again. Okay, I think this probably gets us there, right? So this is 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have exactly enough if our Burning Wish resolves. So we hold priority on this. That's for triple black. We're going to get the Tendrils of Agony. Point out the opponent's dome. Alright, we got there. We went through a lot, but we got to turn 1. And that's the match. That's 2-0. Let's go to round 3. Right, I think I can safely deduce that I want to mulligan this one. What about this one? We gamble. Then what? Then what indeed? How does our deck perform without a Lion's Eye Diamond? Probably quite poorly. We could go turn 1 Bauble. That's not good for us either. We're really not feeling this one. Like Wasteland is obviously bad. I think we're going to mulligan. Are we going to mulligan? Okay, this does the thing. So we have Lion's Eye Diamond, Blackcleave Cliffs, Entomb. Everything else is kind of surplus to requirement. We're on the play. Just been off whatever here. Let's Force of Will check our opponent. Oh, I don't like this pause at all. Cast an Entomb. It's asking me the order which I put my creatures into the graveyard, which means our opponent is playing something that cares about the order of creatures. Okay, this works still. Play out a bunch of stuff, do the Moxes, all that jazz. Exiles this, exile this, cast this. Another Echo. I will tap this for red while we're here. Back this. Flash this back. We'll leave 1 red, 1 blue. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Lotus Petal. Whole priority. Actually, we can play this Vexing Bauble first, can't we? We've got loads of mana. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So we can play this Vexing Bauble first. Whole priority, cast this. It's a triple black. Go and get the Tendrils. And light them up. Another turn 1. Unless our opponent has Mindbreak Traps in the main. Actually, they can't even Mindbreak Trap because of Vexing Bauble. I don't know what they're going to have here. Alright, we win the game. I don't know anything about our opponent's deck. But the order of creatures in graveyards mattered. Which makes me think our opponent is playing Shallow Grave. Which means Leyline of the Void is a thing our opponent can have. So I want this Haywire Mite more than a Vexing Bauble. I think that's a fine thing to hedge based on what we know. We don't want to go any deeper into it than that. Do you want to Braze if they're running Dauthi Voidwalker? Or are we just going to try and win before Dauthi Voidwalker does its thing? Alright, let's put in Pyrite Spellbomb as well. I'm not 100% sure that's what my opponent's doing. But when it tells you which order to put your creatures in, it does suggest an orders matters thing. That probably isn't true at all, is it? I'm not used to it actually asking which order I put them in. We'll see. Yeah, this hand goes. Maybe I'm just not used to discarding multiple creatures at once. And actually, it always asks you. That is certainly a possibility. We might have just sideboarded horribly. By horribly, I mean we sideboarded 2 cards. A Marsh Flats. A Badlands. Okay, he's looking like... Yeah, we're on this reanimated trip. So maybe I was correct. And it only does ask you if it matters. There are 2 massive monsters in there. Please don't play any other mana. Uh-oh. Or he's going to be ships in the night over here. Dark Ritual. Are they going to animate dead their Grizzlebrand and draw 14? That would be pretty good. They are going to do exactly that. Let's see how much of our hand gets stripped away here. So how many unmasks can our opponent throw at us? Like, we don't really care about their creatures in play right now. Alright, our opponent's gone to 5. It is going to be a little bit tricky to Slickshot Show-Off our way through a Grizzlebrand. But we can just try and win with the Storm Kill. Right. Maybe our opponent's going to storm off this turn, you never know. Could give us the full tin fins. 3 and... Okay, so they're just Faithless Looting. They're just looking for any unmasks or griefs to try and mess with our hand. Griefs are still legal when I'm recording this. Alright, an Entomb and a Grizzlebrand going in. Another Entomb. This is going to be an Atraxa. We have to continue playing this because we can still win this one. There's the Atraxa. We're going to see another Animate Dead. There it is. Let's see what they reveal. Grief, Thoughtseize, Unmask. So they're going to have a peek at our hand is what you're saying. Also, the Shouldered is quite key to know about. Not that we can do a great deal about it, but it's something to be aware of. They chose Shallow Grave, Grief, Verdant Catacombs, Unmasked Lotus Petal. Okay, let's see how bad it is for our hand. We're fully shields down over here. I took the Burning Wish. So we can still, if they don't hit us with the Unmask, then we could still luck our way into this one. Well, they got Thoughtseize rather than Unmask, I think, didn't they? Alright, now there's an Unmask. So this time we lose the Lion's Eye Diamond, I suspect. There it goes. Another Faithless Looting from our opponent. And they just want to do as much damage as they can to our hand. But we get 2 draw steps at this point. They will get to draw another load of cards. Alright, they have to go clean up. They've only got 2 to get rid of because they did a pretty good job of using their resources that they grabbed. I think we're playing out all of our artifacts here so that they can't be taken out of our hand. And then we are passing. Faithless Looting. So we can still just top deck an Entomb or a Gamble and be fine. So still everything to play for. Just going to reanimate another monster. Did they discard a Shouldered? They didn't discard the Shouldered. They didn't take the Shouldered, I think. That would be a way they could have shut us down there. Right, Arc of Cruelty. Sure, I'll discard the only card I have. Alright, we've got 8 draws that might be able to win us the game. That's not one of them. Right, so I was pretty accurate on the old Reanimator type jazz. So these are very good to stop griefs and things from hitting us. We've got a slightly slower hand. We're supposed to be boarding out though. I think this is fine. Alright, so on the play our hand doesn't do anything, so we're going to mulligan. This hand does do things. We're pretty cold to a ley line if our opponent has one. But I think we just have to suck that up a bit. So what are we looking at here? Probably just get rid of Entomb here. Don't ley line me, opponent, please. They did not. Okay. You don't normally see Mindbreak Trap in Reanimated decks, so I'm not expecting it. Right, let's try and draw some new cards. What does our hand do here? Very little. I guess we cast this, play this one out. Are we Vexing Baubling or are we Cabal Therapying? I think we're Vexing Baubling here. It stops grief. It stops Lotus Petals. Stops Unmask. Considering they got a 7 not of their choosing, that should hopefully do enough to dissuade them, and then next turn we can start doing Cabal Therapy stuff. Underground Sea. Dark Ritual is the worst thing we can see from our opponent. Sure, you can Thoughtseize us. Probably take the Bowmasters. Yeah, there it is. Play this one out. Cabal Therapy our opponent here. Can we name Entomb? That's the scariest thing our opponent can have here. If I can spell it, that'd be wonderful. There we go. We have an Entomb. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Our poor opponent. They are not having a great time into this Vexing Bauble. So now we can start making some constructs. Just do an old-fashioned Saga beatdown gaming. This grows our creature. I will play out a land. I think it's worth just turning that into a shock. If our opponent's life total is lower, then they can't reanimate. And I don't want to crack this Vexing Bauble. I'll just take my 0 mana shock. Alright, we got the match in the end and we are cruising at 3-0. Let's go to round 4. Alright, we're on the play. Let's have a look at our sideboard. So how much mana we've got? 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana. So we could Galvanic Relay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Is that actually any good? Just relaying for 5 cards. It's kind of like drawing 7. Well, we get 6 cards actually. It's kind of, so it's basically just this hand puts a Mox and a land into play and then draws 6 cards. I think we could do better, to be honest. Maybe that's wrong. I just don't play enough of these decks. All right, this is more my jam. All right, let's keep this one. Let me put back the Saga for now. Let's have Badlands. Let's have a Lion's Eye Diamond. Our opponent is F6 over there. So we get to just do our thing. So let's have a fresh grip. Usually red in the pool, that's our main colour. What do we have here? I guess we continue to go. Our opponent said Utto in chat. Uh-oh indeed. Scambo for another Echo. Blue. And I'll make... I think we just make red here. We could make black though. Or we could just keep this Lion's Eye Diamond in our hand. Right, I'm going to go swing big here. Well, we have fizzled unless this Vexing Bauble finds us something good. I guess we Rite of Flame first to make sure that we can cast this, leaving open the mana. Ping our opponent. Let's crack this using... I think it's the red here. Is it the red or is it the black? We can Cabal Therapy. Okay, let's Cabal Therapy our opponent. What do I think our opponent has in the blind? They were just F6'd, which means they didn't think they were drawing any more blue cards. So I don't think they're a blue deck. I'm going to name Swords to Plowshares. Or what would I not like to face here? Blaring Fleshraker. No, we're just going to have a look at our opponent's deck. Alright. So we can flash this back and take out the only green source. Let me pass. We kind of fizzled a bit there. And now we don't have a bonus Lion's Eye Diamond. Our plan is now Urza Saga. It's a fine plan. And for 1. Okay, so next turn we start ticking up the Saga. We could have played the Saga and started making guys earlier, but it would come at the cost of our Rite of Flame. So I'm just trying to keep as many cards in hand so we can do like a big Slickshot Show-Off plan. Attack. So we can pick off one of our opponent's mana creatures if they have one. Otherwise we can, like one of their little spawns, if they make spawns, they find a green source. Otherwise, we're just going to play the Bowmaster and try and get our opponent dead with our mediocre beats. The power of medium men compels you. We are bashing for 3 a turn now, which is not nothing. That's the Delver's worth of damage. And it's going to ramp up when we start doing Urza Saga stuff. Do I think it being a 1-1 matters for our Saga? I don't think so. I'd rather hold these in hand so we can have a nice big Slickshot Show-Off turn. Because that card has evasion, so if we get stonewalled on the ground, we can at least try a different approach. Oh, look at that. They found a land. Not quite a land, but... Alright, so they're going to play an Eldrazi Repurposer here. So this makes a guy. They're going to immediately Fleshraker. They are. Yeah, so things are already starting to snowball out of control here. Let's make a guy. See what we draw and see if it changes what we want to do here. A gamble, you say. Would I like to have another construct? Or are we in Gambletown here? I think we are just in Gambletown. So we're going to get our Lion's Eye Diamond here. We can play a Mox. Play a Chrome Mox. This is +1 mana. The Rite of Flame on its own is +2. So I think we need +2 on the Rite of Flame instead. Do I play this out now? There's no point. I don't think. It makes our construct bigger. I don't really want to draw another Mox actually. Also turns our Mox Opal on. Refuse here. Gonna put this Echo in the bin. Some blue mana. And then we cast Echo and our opponent dies to Bowmaster trigger. Yeah, so we ping them for 14 and we got there. So Eldrazi is a deck that is going to have the Leyline of the Void. So we need the Haywire Mite, and that's going to be our opponent's likely main way of dealing with us. That and possibly Mindbreak Trap. So I think we take the Vexing Bauble out. We also have to worry about Chalice as well, actually. So I think we just have the 2 Abrades in there. Do we need a Vexing Bauble at all? Or can we put something else in that might be handy? We don't need all of these pieces of hate in the sideboard. We only need to be able to go and get one of them. So I guess we probably just have a Shenanigans in the main as well. Okay. I think we might come unstuck in this matchup. Okay, we can keep this. We can gamble for the LED. They revealed a Devourer of Destiny. They did not reveal a Leyline of the Void. Please don't get me with a Chalice. No Chalice on top there. Oh, wastes. Have we dodged it? We might have done. So I would like my Badlands in play. So if we gamble for an LED right now, I think I want to Rite of Flame first. We lost the Lotus Petal. Does that matter here? I don't think it does. Would have liked the Lotus Petal because that allows us to do more stuff, but I will leave red mana in our pool. Not looking incredible. Play this. I think I'll imprint a Bowmasters here. And then, am I going to plot this or am I going to just put it straight into play? It's 1 damage if I cast it now. That 1 damage is not nothing, so I will take it. Okay, we need to find something to go with this gamble. CF Glaring Fleshraker, we are. A Lotus Petal. What could we actually gamble for here? Can we just gamble and treat it like... Is there a way we can gamble and just try and put the thing into our graveyard? I think there is. So we do this, play this, trigger this guy. If we play Bowmasters out, we can't do it. So if we gamble here, we have a 33% chance of just putting it straight into our graveyard. And then we get to carry on going here. I think that's acceptable. Or do we go for... No, we have to do the Echo here, right? Yeah, we got there. I'll flash this back. Okay, so we've got a Lotus Petal. We've got a Chrome Mox. So the 11 power. Or an exile here. It's probably just the other Show-Off. But if we want to cast an Entomb, we need black mana. I guess we can just use the black mana off of the Petal. Or next turn we can just go that way. So I guess we put the Slickshot Show-Off underneath it. And then we cast a Burning Wish. Or do we Entomb here so that our opponent can't get us with a Thoughtseize there? I think that's probably the play. We want to find another blue source. But that's a problem for later. Alright, Glaring Fleshraker. Sure. If we hit our opponent in a big way, then maybe we can just get over the hill with them activating an Ancient Tomb or something. And then just having 1 or 2 little spells. Chalice of the Void where X equals 0. Sure, that makes them a little spawn token, which is not the best. That means we can't play in Alliance I Die, but we can still get one off of the Urza Saga if we're still alive at that point. Alright, that is not an Ancient Tomb, sadly. Our opponent can really go big here. We might be seeing... Alright, they're just going to shut off all of our spells. I understand. So we can still get Shattering Spree and smash all of these, because only the main copy will get counted. The replicated copies will be fine. Devourer of Destiny. Okay, goodbye, Slickshot Show-Off. So we have a win if we survive our opponent's next turn, I think. The opponent's got 3 cards in hand, though. So we'll play Badlands out. Actually, no, we'll play the Blackcleave Cliffs. So we can make a token, and we can Bowmasters, or we can wish and make a token. What would we be wishing for in this situation? If we wish... I don't really wish for anything that exciting. How big is this going to be? We don't actually get to cast it through that, do we? No. So... I think we're just Bowmastering and making a token. Should I Bowmasters this Eldrazi spawn out of play? I think I should. So the downside of doing this is if our opponent has a Kozilek's Command. We don't get the token, but we do get to stop them from making mana. And we just need to make sure our opponent doesn't do enough things that we die this turn. Cavern of Souls. Okay? So we fire off this Echo of Eons, our Bowmaster triggers will kill our opponent. We have a 3-3 on blocks here, so they just attack the 6-6. They don't attack at all. Interesting. Let's make a large creature. It's not that large, it's just 3-3. But it's something. Draw. I don't think this changes anything. Do I want to construct here? We still have a lot of mana left over if we don't make... I think we can probably win the game here. Is there anything we can wish for that helps? Our opponent's scooping up because we're just going to draw the thing and ping them and they don't have an answer. Sure. Alright, that's 4 rounds and 4 victories. So we are cruising to a trophy match with this wonderful little brew. Let's... not my brew, obviously, but it's still a brew. Let's go to the final round. We are on the play for the trophy match. Our hand is awkwardly not quite a goer, so I think we have to mulligan this one. Don't really have a way to put this in the bin. I don't really want to just play Slickshot Show-Off and just kind of do nothing. I think we are mulliganing again. Our deck is very mulligan heavy anyway. So 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. And then we take the Entomb. And that lets us spin the wheel. Have I done that right? 1, 2... No, we need something to imprint the Chrome Mox is the problem. Get rid of Mox Opal. We can Rite of Flame here. Does that help? No. We're going lower. I think we're going lower. Okay, 1... This. 2 Mox Opals again. The bane of my existence. We have no way of getting starting red mana with this hand. Alright, we go to 3. This one works. So we go Entomb, Lion's Eye Diamond, land. I hope our opponent has nothing over there. Let's Entomb. There's an Echo. Let's flash it back. They resolve pretty quickly. So now what? 1 mana, 2 mana. This isn't mana though. It's never mana, is it? Alright, let's Excelsior Spirit Guide. Cast a Rite of Flame. Play a Slickshot Show-Off. Play a Mox. Play a Lotus Petal. And then I think I want to play this Vexing Bauble out, just to stop some of the scary things that other people can be doing. Alright, not an ideal turn. It was a mull to 3. We did get something done, but it ended up not being the most amount of things. This Vexing Bauble might have stopped a lot of our opponent's plays. If we gamble here for a Lion's Eye Diamond, if that goes well, then we have a great time. I'll take the 50-50. We lost the 50-50. Okay. Let's bash for 3. Let's see if we get fatal pushed. Sad times for Slickshot Show-Off. There's a Wasteland. Goodbye our only mana source. We now can't cast anything at all because of our Vexing Bauble. I think we're going to lose this one, but we at least get to see what our opponent's playing. I suspect it's like a blue-black mid-rangey pile, but it might be something a bit more aggressive. A 0-drop that will get countered, and even if it did come into play, it would just blow up one of our opponents and do nothing. This is not how we wanted this to go. Undercity Sewers, still not any more information about what our opponent's doing. Same with the Force of Will. Another Vexing Bauble, because our deck has a sense of humour. There is an Entomb. Alright, so our opponent is on that Reanimate Life. Understood. I think we're going to die in pretty short order here. So we need a land so that we can crack our own Vexing Bauble to play a Lion's Eye Diamond. What a sham. What an absolute sham. We've got a land. Okay. So he's saying there's a chance. Animate Dead on the Slickshot Show-Off. Okay. I'm going to cast another spell and hit us for 2 extra damage. They are. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Discard this Mox. Basic Swamp. Let's fire in an Entomb. Let's get this Echo of Eons. Is there any way out? Okay, we have to draw from the Bauble. And we have to draw a Lion's Eye Diamond. And our opponent has to not have counter magic. Yep. We mod 3. Did not go well for us. So our opponent is mainly going to be fighting us with counter magic. I think when we played this previous matchup, we just went straight in as it is now. So let's do that. I want this 1 Pyrite Spellbomb to deal with Doughty Voidwalker out of the sideboard. Now we're going to go in. Our opponent's not making a Doughty Voidwalker until turn 2, so we're going to have 2 turns to try and string a win together before that happens. This hand is Vexing Bauble. Play this and this. Gamble. Does that do enough? Can Vexing Bauble into a Bowmasters. Alright, I'm going to keep this one. It's a bit slow. But I do like the Bauble here. I think our opponent's definitely going to keep permission. So we play both of these out first. Then we put out the Bauble. And we can just play it as a Saga game, potentially. Force of Negation, pitching a Daze. Okay. I think we pass, and we're just building up to Lion's Eye Diamond off of the Urza Saga here. You see a Wasteland? Not a Wasteland. So they might be going for Dathi Voidwalk on turn 2, which will be quick enough to stop our Urza Saga nonsense. A Grief. Yep, so now we lose the gamble. I think our opponent has bested us at the final hurdle here today. And a Ponder. We don't get to do all the things we want to do. In fact, we don't get to do any of the things we want to do. So we could gamble now, or we could gamble next turn. One plays into Graveyard Hate, one plays into Discard. If they reanimate this Grief, that's obviously bad. Alright, I think we are going to cast a gamble. And let's hope that they don't Wasteland our Urza Saga, because that's going to be bad news for us. I thought I called it out, but nope. Okay. Stifle? You going to stifle me? Oh, they are. Consigned to memory. Same thing, but different. Well, that's pretty miserable. I don't think we're going to win this one. Right, our opponent is cycling a Troll of Khazad-dûm. And they put Archon of Cruelty into their graveyard. Alright. Not looking great for us. Rite of Flame, you say? So we can't even Cabal Therapy ourselves to get anything done. I guess we're just passing the turn and getting annihilated by whatever our opponent does this turn. However, when you're watching this video, this deck is not going to exist in the exact form it's in right now. Because there's definitely something getting banned from this deck. Oh, they didn't have anything. Well, that means they probably got counter magic, doesn't it? So we don't have a way of getting black mana yet, so I guess we're just passing again. We can always draw enough cards that we have to discard. Really where I want to be. But if our opponent doesn't do anything, then that is a valid play that we can make. So we could Chrome Mox, but we don't have any blue mana in that case, so I guess we're just passing over again. Our opponent must just have a grip full of reactive spells, so it's going to be very hard for us to win, even if we get to do the thing. Okay, let's see if we win with an Urza Saga. We could play this Chrome Mox out. Let's try that. And we can imprint the Cabal Therapy and have the Bowmasters as a thing we get to do. I think that is better than therapying our opponent here, because they're probably going to be looking for some kind of cantrips. And this tests their counter magic just as much as a Cabal Therapy can. Maybe that's the wrong decision, but we have the Urza Saga here. So if our opponent needs to like sculpt into finding a solution. Not a big fan of this one. So this gets us one additional ping if we play this before our opponent does anything. This also allows us to... this is awkward because we need this for next turn. Do I want to try and rely on drawing a mana source, or do I want to pay for this Daze? What is this Bowmasters actively doing for us? Not that much. It does give us the ability to ping when we Echo of Eons, which is not nothing. But just guaranteed Echo of Eons next turn is probably more powerful. But we quite like to draw lands. Or we'd try to draw mana sources. Alright, I'm going to pay for this one. If our opponent doesn't want us to have this, then we want to have it. Because we discard the Echo. Any artifact, we get blue mana. So this gets us a ping. It gets us a body that we can then sacrifice to the Archon of Cruelty. And then we discard the Echo. And then we ping them again. And make another body that we can sacrifice next turn. Orcish Bowmasters is very good against Archon of Cruelty in terms of soaking up some of the damage. Opponent's got 4 cards there. Let's see what happens. Nothing useful. We don't have any blue mana yet. We don't have a way of making this token, unfortunately. So we just have to get ruined by the consigned to memory that our opponent is about to throw us. In comes the attack. Down goes our creature. One of our Rite of Flames can go. We ping them, get another creature. We don't get to play this Merry Song and Dance for too much longer, though. We are technically... Oh, they're brainstorming into our Bowmasters. That is a big sign of power. That they don't care about the Bowmasters here. So there are 2 kinds of brainstorm into Bowmasters. There's the brainstorm where it's desperation and they just have to do it. And then it's the Brainstorm where they don't care about you having Bowmasters. And this is unfortunately the latter of the two. There is an Entomb. What fresh hell will this be? An Atraxa. Okay. I'm just going to get some more cards over there. Okay. There is a Force of Will. But we could draw the Bauble. Ponder, Wasteland, Animate Dead, Psychic Frog, Force of Will. Losing this is obviously pretty calamitous. Our opponent is so flush with riches over there. Burning Wish we can't cast. Alright, that is the game, and that is the match and the league. So we finished with a very respectable 4-1 with this deck. We certainly got to do our things and trash people. But unfortunately, the last round our hand didn't really come together that well. You kind of live and die by your opening hands here. We mulled to 3, and then we kind of got buried by our opponent in the second one. We kept a slightly slower hand. Maybe we're supposed to mulligan more aggressively yet again, but our opponent just has so many tools to deal with us there. Alright, let's talk about this deck. I liked it, obviously. It was an absolute blast to play. The Vexing Baubles did have a little bit of clunkiness for us. I understand why they're in there, but they do feel a little bit clunky at times, and getting Metalcraft was one of our real problems. It felt like we didn't have enough artifacts to get Metalcraft reliable. So what are we supposed to do about that? We could run some Mishra's Baubles if you wanted, just to help out on the Metalcraft front. That's okay. And just having our 0-drops replace themselves isn't the worst when we're trying to do Slickshot Show-Off stuff, but you have to find where that goes in the deck. And that is a harder thing to decide upon. Overall, I like the deck. It's not exactly within my field of expertise. I'm not the Storm guy. There's plenty of excellent Storm content creators out there though. But I think we accounted for ourselves quite well here, and we showcased what the deck can do. We got some nice turn 1s. And we certainly felt like the bad guy at times, just not letting our opponents play by just winning the game so quickly. We did win with Tendrils, we won with Slickshot Show-Off, and we won with Orcish Bowmasters pinging. So we did kind of get to do everything that the deck can do. So all in all, a very productive and enjoyable session of Magic the Gathering right there. And I hope you enjoyed this one, and maybe this is something you will look to play in the new meta when the bannings happen, which you probably have already seen what's been banned, and you'll either be happy or sad about it. Who knows? Alright, I think we're done for today, so please remember to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me out. If you want to help me out with actual monies, there's ways of doing that on my Patreon too. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. If you'd like to support me in the channel, please check out my Patreon. It has a free guide to budget turbo depths, as well as 3 tiers of support. A low cost one that enters you into my monthly raffle for a free donation deck on the channel, a mid-tier subscription that gives you access to my detailed turbo depths guide that is updated every month, as well as regular articles, and lastly the higher tier gives you all of the above, as well as a monthly donation deck for my channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel this way, please check out the link in the description.